And now I will show you how to use all this information about the 12 signs, how to judge very quickly the horoscope of each individual or separately, for how they will be in relationships overall. Well, first of all, find out, go to my birth chart calculator, astrolada.com, I'm putting a link for you here, and enter the details of the person you're interested in. And then you'll get a lot of tables, and don't get scared, it's not difficult. I will walk you through how to use these tables. Now I want you to go to the planetary detail table for the person. For example, I'm going to use the horoscope of Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt as an example. And I'll give you I'm showing you here the details, and you'll see ascendant, sun, moon, you'll see the sign and the degree of each planet, of the ascendant as well. And I want you first to check and to write down for all the planets, starting from the ascendant till Saturn. Basically, we're working with only the 7 visible planets. We consider the moon and the sun also planets, and with the ascendant. We're not working with Jupiter, Pluto, Uranus, the planets below. Just stick with the 7 traditional visible planets and the ascendant. And you don't have to check all the planets. If you want to have a quick look, you can just look at the ascendant, sun and moon and classify them, break them down like I'll show you, because they're the most important ones when it comes to relationships. But if you want to be more thorough, you can go to all the planets and you give different points for each planet. For example, the ascendant will get 2 points. The sun will get 2 points. The moon will get 3 points, because the moon is the planet of relating. The moon is the planet of emotions. The moon is the planet of your emotional needs. So in relationships, this is what comes out the most. That's why we give 3 points to the moon overall. And then to the rest of the planets, Venus, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn, you give 1 point each. And I want you to break down now first of all, let's look at feminine and masculine planets for Angelina Jolie. Well, let's see. She has, let's start with the masculine planet. She has her sun and moon in masculine sign in Gemini and Aries. So we give her 2 points for the sun and 3 points for the moon. This is a point system that I invented. It doesn't have to be so rigid, but that's how I feel it. That's how I feel like the strength of these planets are important in relationships. So we get 5 points for masculine planets already. And then she has quite a few masculine planets. She has Mars in Aries, which is a masculine sign. We give it 1 point. She has Mercury in Gemini, which is again a masculine sign, 1 point. She has Jupiter in Aries, 1 point, another masculine sign. So we get 8 points for the masculine signs. Now let's go to the feminine signs. How many planets are there in feminine signs? Well, her ascendant is in Cancer, which is feminine. We give it 2 points. And her Venus is in Cancer, which is feminine sign again. We give it 1 point. And her Saturn is in Cancer, so 1 point. So you see, she has 8 points masculine planets and 4 points feminine planets. So everything that we said that applies to women or to men, to anyone with more masculine energy, will apply to Angelina Jolie. It will mean she'll be more initiative. When she likes someone, she'll go after them. She'll be, she will not be a shrinking violet. She won't be shy, or she will not be sending ambivalent signs. When she likes someone, she'll put it out there. And you see, guess who was probably came on to Brad Pitt when they were shooting this movie, when he was still married with Jennifer Aniston. I'm pretty sure that Angelina Jolie gave some pretty powerful signals that she likes him, because with this masculine energy, she's initiative. How does a masculine sign feels well? They feel good if they do something about it, So if she likes someone, she'll do something about it. And she has some feminine energy as well. Of course, you can see it, you can feel it in her, but it's less. It's half of the masculine energy that she has. And masculine signs can be a little bit rough as well. When they get upset, they get angry, or they don't suffer. If she had a lot of feminine signs, if she gets upset in relationship or any situation, she would more suffer within herself, not showing it out. She would bottle it up somehow, more introverted. But when she has so many masculine energies, imagine when she's angry, she probably puts it out there. She lets him know. She would let Brad Pitt know, or whoever is around her. Okay, so she'll be initiative, proactive, and you can see it, masculine planets as well. People with more masculine energy, they're kind of, you see even with the way she dresses, the action movies she does, this is a bit more, she's famous for her action movies. She rarely plays the damsel in distress. She always plays the strong woman. It comes out in her roles as well. Now let's go and see fire, air, water, and earth. How many planets she has in fire, water, air, and earth? Okay, so she has in fire her moon, for which we give 3 points. She has in fire her Mars, we give 1 point. And she has Jupiter, 1 point. So we get 5 points for planets in fire. In air, she has 2 points for her Sun, basically. And 1 point for Jupiter, and 1 point for Mercury, which is also in air sign, in Gemini. So she has 3 points of air. And for water, she has Ascendant in Cancer, 2 points. She has Venus in Cancer, 1 point, and Saturn in Cancer, 1 point. And for Earth, she has absolutely no Earth, no planets in Earth. What does it mean? So we're looking 5 planets she has most planets in fire. What did we say about fire planets, fiery people? Well, they're passionate. And you see it for her there, the initiative as well. Fire is very initiative, leadership. Fire is inspirational. Fire wants to inspire and lead others. Fire is the, and you can see it even in her movies, the action movies. Fire is very much action-oriented. Her action movies, her passion, it's overly sexual, like overtly sexual, the fire signs, so her sexuality oozes out from her, it's in your face way almost, and passionate, and she has a lot of water, almost as much as fire. So what happens when you mix fire and water? You get steam. So she's steamy, hot, sizzling hot, and steam is coming out from her. But she's also emotional, so mix emotionality with a lot of fieriness. So because of emotionality, she will have also those more feminine approach, with ascendant in a water sign. She won't be always like the heart, the action figure in her personal life. Should have this gentleness as well, this emotionality that men love. And all her water signs are in the sign of Cancer. And Cancer is very maternal, very caring as well. So she'll be very active with the fire, very initiative and strong, but at the same time she has this sensitivity, this caring, this nurturing, this motherly energy. Remember what we talked about Cancer? That Cancer is very maternal, very caring, very family-oriented. And when you mix fire and water, especially Cancer water, these people will kill for their family. They will do anything for their family, and obviously this is something she does as well. They'll be very initiative in regards to family matters as well. But definitely fire and water, it's steamy combination. And when water gets emotional and upset, the fire can, it can start like a bit of a sultriness around her, like sizzling. And she has air, so she can be a bit objective. She's sociable as well. It's not fully, if there is like too much water and no air, for example, the person is not objective, because water is too emotional, and air gives you objectivity to look from a higher perspective. So she has a little bit of a balance there of her emotions as well. But she has no earth. No earth. Earth is stability. Earth is perseverance. So she will need someone who has, you can always look at if someone is missing some energy, is missing some element. For example, like Angelina Jolie is missing earth. People who miss earth, they might be less stable. I'm not saying emotionally, but like keeping up the status quo is a little bit harder for them. They don't like to be set in one place for a long time. Earth is, it's not practical, it's not a material sign. So she has lots of money. If you don't have Earth, doesn't mean you cannot make money and material things, but she might be more impractical about those things. She might not be able to manage them so well. So if someone is missing an element in their horoscope, or very little planets in certain element, the person will try to compensate often by attracting people who have a lot of this element. In the case of Angelina Jolie, she attracted Brad Pitt, who has, when we go to his horoscope, who has a lot of earth. He's mostly earthy. And this is how the universe makes us balance things. People say that likes attracts likes, but when two things are too much alike, like plus and plus, they kind of, they reject each other. This is simple physics. Or if they're minus, they don't work together. And that's why often people attract for long-time partners in their life someone who has what they're missing. So, and who has something also of their energy. So it cannot be only opposite. There should be some similarity, but there should be something that the other person fills in for this person. The other person completes, and that's why Angelina Jolie will need someone with earth to balance her out a bit, maybe to do those practical things for her, to be more down to earth, to be more practical, to be more realistic in certain situations. Or if someone is lacking fire, for example, these people have a bit less energy, a bit less enthusiasm, get up and go, so they might attract someone who has more fire, who brings this fire in their life. Or if someone has no water, for example, I have no water, such people are not very much in touch with their emotions. They do have feelings. They might be all over the place with feelings, but they do not have a good grasp of how to deal with those emotions. They do not have a good grasp what to do with them. It doesn't mean they're not emotional. Sometimes people without water, they might get very emotional, or they might not get emotional when they have to. They're on a funeral, they don't cry, but they cry 2 years later when they remember, or something like that. Or they break up, they get angry instead of sad. There is like a bit of confusion for people who don't have enough water in regards of their emotions, not much of a good grasp over the qualities of water, which is feelings. So they can often attract someone who is more feeling-centered, with more water planets in them, so that it can compensate somehow. It doesn't have to be a lot of water that they attract. It can be a person who has 1 or 2 planets to bring some water there, to help them get in touch with their emotions. If a person doesn't have enough air, for example, the person might have difficulty communicating, expressing what they think, So they might attract someone who is overly verbal, who likes to socialize, to be around people, who likes to philosophize, to go on long monologues, or to converse with them. So this person who has more air in their horoscope can bring out the communicative skills in them, So we need balance. We cannot all be fire and the same. It gets too much of the same energy. So now let's continue with Angelina Jolie. Let's go cardinal, fixed, or dual. Well, if you notice, she has a lot of cardinal planets and energy. Her ascendant is in Cancer, cardinal sign, 2 points. Her moon is in Aries, cardinal, 3 points. Her Venus is in Cancer, and Mars is in Aries, Jupiter is in Aries, and Saturn is in Cancer, which are all cardinal planets. We get 9 points of cardinality for Angelina Jolie. Fixity, no planets in fixed signs. You see, she doesn't have Earth, she doesn't have fixed signs. Fixed signs are the ones that keep the status quo, that are very, consistent, that when they start something, they carry it through. And if someone doesn't have fixed energy, but if they have Earth, because Earth is a bit more stable, if they have the Earth element, this can compensate for the lack of fixity. Or if someone doesn't have Earth in their horoscope, the practical stabilizing energy, but they have a lot of planets in fixed signs, this can somehow balance a bit the lack of Earth. But in her case, she doesn't have Earth, and she doesn't have fixed planets. So she'll need to attract someone who has fixed planets in his horoscope to keep the status quo, because if both are very changeable, they'll keep changing things all the time, and no one will carry through, no one will persevere in the relationship. Or she needs to attract someone with a lot of Earth at least, because Earth is, it can fill up the gap of lack of fixity, and it can bring a bit more rationality, stability, perseverance. This is Earth, it's stable, it stays there. And she has dual energy. She has 4 points for dual energy, which is adaptable, which is is willing to compromise dual energy, is willing to go with the flow a little bit more, to adapt to the partner somehow more. But you see someone with so much cardinal energy in them. What did we say about cardinal energy? They have the most ups and downs in relationships. They often tend to have like a few relationships before that to change. They change even if she gets divorced at 40 or something, or 50, she would start again. People with cardinal energy, they're not afraid to start again. They're beginners, they're initiators of new things. So often they have a lot of new beginnings. That's her third marriage. I'm not saying that all people who have cardinal energy will have many marriages, but they have many new beginnings in life, or even in the same relationship, many changes. And look what's happening with her and Brad Pitt. They're all the time traveling. Remember, cardinal sign, movable. They're called also movable because they move a lot. They live every year 2-3 different places in the world. Like, there's so many changes in their relationship. If they were stuck in Hollywood, living all the time in the same house, all the time in the same environment, someone with so much cardinal energy will go mad. She would like start creating travel inside the relationship. But they kind of somehow intuitively sorted this thing out by moving a lot, by changing, which means, cardinal energy needs changes. So they change their place of residence. They keep adding new members to their family. They keep doing new projects together. It's initiative. And when we go to Brad Pitt, let's break down quickly. Masculine, feminine energy. He has in masculine 6 points because he has his ascendant, his sun, 4 points, and his Jupiter and Saturn, 2 points, 6 points in masculine energy, and his rest of his planets are in feminine energy. So he's balanced. He has enough of feminine energy and enough of masculine energy. So sometimes he can be yielding, sometimes he can be, more initiating. But she's the one with more masculine energy in the relationship. So she will need someone who has a little bit more feminine energy because she doesn't have so much feminine planets. And you see, Brad Pitt has a good amount of female planets, feminine signs, His moon is there, which is so important. His Venus, Mars, and Mercury are there as well in a feminine sign. So there is like when he would be more willing to retreat sometimes, but he has also enough initiative of masculinity. But she'll be the one who is a little bit more of a leader there, who is a little bit more of the one starting the changes, the initiating new things. And let's see, fire, air, water, and earth. He has no water, no planets in water. Thankfully, Angelina Jolie has a good 4 points of water. He has a water sign, Cancer. Cancer is strong in the horoscope. So she helps him get in touch with his feelings. She helps him get in touch with his emotions, sort out his emotions. She gives him this balance. What does he have most of? He has the earth element. She has 6 points there. His moon is there, Venus, Mercury, Mars, so he gets 6 points of earth. Remember, that's the element Angelina Jolie doesn't have, and he stabilizes her. He gives this continuity in the relationship, this sober head. Someone without fire, someone without earth like Angelina Jolie and without no fixed energy and so much fire, and water, they'll be up and down, emotional, so cardinal, changeable. They would, when things get tough, they might, want to do something and get out. But because he has earth, earth is persevering. Earth is, you remember what we said about earth, you can go back and read it. So he will balance it, this is how she brings him water. He doesn't have water. She gives him, helps him get in touch with his feelings, help him become more heart-centered, and he brings her emotional. And even maybe he's the one who takes care of the money, of the, who kind of is the more practical one, grounds her in some way, gives her perspective about the material world. And he has fire though. He has a lot of fire. He has 5 points of fire and 6 points of earth. So he's much more earthy person. Earthy, stable, remember what we said about earthy people? They'll take into considerations if someone ticks their boxes, if something, before they commit, they would want to see if this person is going to be there for them, to see if this person is, if they can bring, continuity. And he has fire though, because if he didn't have fire, probably should be the one that was doing all the chasing all the time, and should be the one who'd have to go grab him by the ears, and he might not even have had the courage or energy to leave Jennifer. But because he has fire, fire is also impulsive, is passionate. Fire, when fire likes you, fire shows you that it likes you, and this is the energy that connects them. They both have strong fire. She has strong fire, he has strong fire, so this is the similarity. Remember what we said? You need to have something similar, but you need also to fill in the gaps of elements or modalities that you're missing. So this is the fire connects them. So when they're together, two people with fire, with a lot of fire, they know how to have fun. They giggle, they have energy, they can do things together, they're excited. When they like each other, they show it to each other, But thankfully, he also grounds her. And thankfully, she also gives this more depth to the relationship with her water, to feelings, emotionality. And he has very little air as well. Obviously, she has air, thankfully. She has 3 points, not much. But she has her sun in air and Mercury in air, which is the planet of communication. While he has almost no air, just Jupiter is there, So she would bring into his life a bit more sociability, a bit more, communication. She's the one who probably wants to talk to him and let's resolve something by speaking, by communicating, having mutual hobbies, interests together, sharing, mutual interests. This is what air is about. Maybe she's the one who organizes parties and get-togethers with friends, because if left to himself, a person without much air might not be so, sociable. So you see how they kind of balance each other, but they also have similar energy. And now let's see cardinal, fixed, and dual. Well, he's just as cardinal as she is. He has 7 points of cardinality. His moon, his Venus, Mars, Mercury are all in a cardinal Capricorn sign. So he also will have a lot of changes and ups and downs in relationship. If a relationship is stagnant, if it keeps being the same, if nothing new is introduced into the relationship, maybe like it was with him and Jennifer Aniston, no children, nothing to look forward to, no new initiatives, living in the same place, so the person gets bored in that place. The person needs something new. So that's how they've solved it. Remember, she's very cardinal, he's very cardinal. They must have a lot of ups and downs in relationship and changes, but they solved it by moving a lot, by changing from one place to another with the kids, getting new kids all the time, having new kids born. So you'll see, these people with a lot of cardinal energy together, they can only make things work if they do a lot of changes in their life. For example, I have a lot of cardinal energy in me, so I need constantly change. But my partner is all fixed. So he can have the same food every morning, he can, or every evening, he can go to the same holidays every year. But I'm a one who stays here for a month and I start getting itchy feet. So I start traveling, I go to Bulgaria, I go to see some friends for 2-3 days. And you have to work it out. With a cardinal person, you need to allow them to do their own changes and not to block them. And thankfully, they both are cardinal. So they both decide to do those changes and they both agree on having such a up and down, changeable relationship. But he doesn't have any fixity. He has very little fixed signs, just Jupiter, 1 point. Just like she doesn't have fixed energy. That's why they move a lot, But thankfully he has Earth. Remember what I said? When you don't have fixed energy, Earth can balance it out. Or if you don't have Earth, fixed energy, planets in fixed sign can balance it out. Okay, that's how you can look at it one way. Very quickly, now it sounds complicated, but once you learn those things, you just look at the chart. It takes me exactly 10 seconds and I can see, oh, she's cardinal, she's earthy, and he's this and that. For you, it might take a little bit, practicing on a few charts, and then you'll see how, it will start making sense for you. It will start becoming much faster in your mind. Then the next thing you can do with science is go and check the male's female planets. Moon and Venus are the female planets in a male's horoscope. Because this way you'll see what kind of women he needs in his life and is attracted to. What kind of women he would feel pulled towards. What kind of qualities these women have. And Venus always is strong, very strong for a man, because Venus is the type of woman he's attracted to. Venus is the lover, the seductress, the beautiful feminine one, you know. The moon is more the woman who makes him feel comfortable. It's more like the wife, it's more like the mother figure. And, you know, men are often first initially always attracted to the Venus type woman, but when they decide to settle down, often they'll choose a woman who also has the qualities of their moon, because when you're gonna be living with someone a long time, you need to feel emotionally comforted and nurtured, emotionally nurtured by this person. You need to have emotional affinity with them, and that's why the moon is also so important. But both, you know, if you can always, if you don't have time to check all these things, always, if you have a man and you want to see what kind of woman he's attracted to, if it's at the initial stages of a relationship, check his Venus and listen to my video for Venus in certain sign. And then you can also check his moon as well to see what kind of needs he will have in the relationship, which a woman can fulfill. And Brad Pitt, for example, has his Venus and his moon both in Capricorn. So Capricorn, what did we tell about Capricorn? These are ambitious people who like women who are careers. Capricorn is the sign of career, who have achieved in life, who have positions in society, who are respected, who are serious about what they want. But particularly for Brad Pitt, when you have Moon and Venus together in the same sign, remember this. This is something you won't hear often. When you have Moon and Venus together in the same sign, such men will be attracted to very maternal women, because Venus is the type of woman he likes. Moon is the mother figure. Women who like family. Women who want to dedicate themselves to family. And this is exactly what he got attracted to. You know, that's why he was not with Jennifer Aniston anymore. Because Angelina Jolie was the mother figure. You know, the moon rules Cancer. When it's next to someone's Venus, that's a bit more complicated astrology, but I'm telling you here that because they're both in Earth sign, and you would say, but Angelina Jolie has no Earth in her. But when Venus and Moon are together, the mind is attracted to more, maternal, emotional women with strong emotions, with strong Cancer maybe in their horoscope, like Angelina Jolie does, because the Moon rules Cancer. Both the role of the mother and the lover get mixed up and they become in one. So she has to be a sex symbol and also a mother. You know, often men have Venus in one sign, Moon in completely different sign. So they'll be attracted to one type of woman, but their ideal mother and wife figure will be very different. So they might go find a lover or something because of that. Because when both roles clash and they're not similar. Say if he prefers a woman who is very strong and independent, but for a family woman he prefers someone traditional, he might find someone traditional for a wife and then go and pursue some strong other woman for the fun part, for the affectionate part of the relationship. But Brad Pitt have them together, so the woman will be Capricorn-like, should have achievements in her life, and should be, persevering, and she should be reliable, but emotional as well, because of the moon brings this emotionality there. Let's see Angelina Jolie. Always for the man, check the sign of Venus, the sign of Moon, and for the woman to see what women he would attract. And for the woman, check the sign of the Sun and Mars, because these are the masculine planets. Often women project their masculine planets into what they want from a man and attract man with such energy. And men project their feminine planets in what they want from a woman and get such a woman in their life. And Angelina Jolie has her Mars in Aries and her Sun in Gemini. You see, they're both in a masculine sign, so she would like an initiator, she would like someone she can do things with, she would like someone who is strong. Mars is strong. When Mars likes something, he goes after it. Look at, for example, read and listen to the video that I speak about Aries. When you see a woman's Mars in a sign and her Sun, listen to the video of these two signs. So for Angelina Jolie, listen for for the video on Gemini and the video on Aries to see what kind of man, what kind of male quality should be attracted to. If you're a man, for example, you're a client, you have a client who comes to you and says, what kind of women does he like, you know? I don't know what's his preferences. And you can look at his Venus and his moon and tell the client what kind of women he would be attracted to. If a person doesn't have this energy already in them, even if she tries to play like those two planets, she can fake it for a little bit. And that's why you cannot fake compatibility. You cannot pretend compatibility. But sometimes it's fun to know what kind of energy the man will be attracted to, what kind of energy in the women he'll be attracted to, or what kind of energy the woman will be attracted to. Okay, and then another thing that I'll tell you, which you probably never heard from any other astrology, and this is taken from Jaimini astrology, and it's ancient astrology, Sanskrit, and it works. It's really powerful. This is a specific planet in the horoscope of every person that you can find, which symbolizes the partner. And this is the planet with the smallest degree, not counting the ascendant, only starting from the Sun, Moon, Venus, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn. Check from those basically 7 planets which one has the smallest degree. You know that the degrees are shown there. For example, for Brad Pitt, and this will be the specific things that they like in a partner, because every man would have Venus and Moon. Every man would be attracted to these feminine qualities in women. But every person will have a specific planet with the smallest degree. These will be more specific to this person qualities that he is attracted to in a person, that he is attracted to in a partner. Basically, in ancient astrology, this is the planet of the spouse, or the planet of the person, of someone that the person is looking for. And for example, in Brad Pitt's chart, Jupiter has the smallest degree of all those 7 planets. So go back to the start of the manual that I gave you and read what does it say about Jupiter. The partner that he would like will be very much Jupiterian, someone with high ideals, someone with strong belief systems, someone who is charitable, someone who is knowledgeable and deep, who wants to help humanity. This is Jupiter, the planet of wisdom and charity, the planet of giving. Jupiter is the planet of children, someone who loves children, someone who is generous to everyone, someone who has high ideals and pursues them, strong views on the world and who tries to help the world. Come on, this is exactly what Angelina Jolie is. With the children, with someone who is very creative. Jupiter is the planet of creativity, of children, of wealth as well. Someone who is wealthy. So he kind of didn't go, his Venus and Moon in a Capricorn, being the Venus with Moon, attracting a motherly, caring person. But he definitely went, when he saw Angelina Jolie, these qualities of the partner in his horoscope, the spouse planet of Jupiter, this is what she epitomizes. And let's see, what does Angelina like specifically in a partner? For some women, the planet with the smallest degree might be a feminine planet, might be the Moon, or might be Venus. So this woman might like someone who is, if it's the Moon, who is nurturing, who is mother figure-like, who is more feminine in a sense. Or if it's Venus, someone who is sweet, gentle, seductive, attractive, who always takes care of their appearance, But for Angelina Jolie, the planet with the smallest degree in Angelina's chart is Mars, which is a masculine planet, which is already one of the planets of the men should like. And it's this Mars. What does it say? The text, the beginning of the manual about Mars. It says that this is a planet of initiative, of courage, of kind of leadership, of strength. Mars is the planet of physical strength. So people who have Mars as the planet of their partner, they would like fit people. They would like people with good body, who take care of their body, who are slim, who are youthful. Mars is the youth. Mars is the soldier. Mars is the planet which is physically fit, which is very almost like a sex symbol. Mars is the planet of sex. And come on, who did she marry? A sex symbol. Mars is, if you read a little bit more, I've given you very little about each planet, what it is, but if you go read online, Mars is the planet of the sex symbol, of the masculine, but not man. It might be a bit more boyish. And look at Brad Pitt, has like a boyish features, fit always, who is... when he wants something, he would go after it, who is quick, who is, like a soldier. When you tell him something, he goes and does something. Mars is adventurous. Mars likes to do crazy stuff. So you tell Mars something, if you have Mars planet as a relationship planet, the person would want someone who is excitable, who likes to have adventure with them, who they can overcome problems with and fight things, and someone who is like a knight in shining armor, Mars, like comes on a white horse and is willing to fight for good in the world as well. And if this Mars, sometimes a person can, the negative qualities of this planet can come up. So especially if the planet is afflicted, and I'll tell you later how to check if a planet is afflicted. So if you have your planet of relationships, not of relationship, but of the partner you want and you like, if it's Mars and if it's afflicted, the person might often attract partners that they argue a lot of, that they have a lot of steam, that they have a lot of competition with, and definitely should also like someone that she can compete with. Look, they do this in movies. Even their first movie, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, come on, they were competing in that movie. They were both agents, secret agents, and should like a lot of passion from the person, a lot of enthusiasm, excitement. But the negative sides of Mars can also come. My partner, my husband, has Mars as his relationship planet of the spouse. That's why he attracted someone who is so strongly Aries, because Mars rules Aries. Remember the table, which planet rules what sign? Such people constantly, they'll feel stimulated also when they argue with people in relationships. They would feel excited from that, or they have to do a physical exercise together. And he always tells me, "You have to be fit. You have to be fit. I want muscles. I hate fat." So he constantly nags on me to work out. I never do. But anyway, this is what he's attracted to. Or if you have someone whose Mercury is their relationship planet, for example, Mercury is the planet of friendship. Mercury is the planet of communication. So they would like someone that they can first be friends with, that they can have a lot of mutual interest. Mercury is the planet of games, playing things together, maybe doing, playing Ludo, Cluedo, Mercury rules Gemini, so a little bit of Gemini qualities, a little bit of Virgo qualities, very intelligent, very smart, quick-witted, someone who makes them laugh, someone who they can explore mutual hobbies together with, they can, like friends almost. Or if your Jupiter, we said already, if Jupiter is your spouse planet, you'll be attracted in idealistic, kind-minded, generous people who give, people who are larger, they have they're not petty looking at details and small things, they want to help the whole world, who are wise, who give advice to others, who go and make speeches for things they believe in, who are protectors, like mentors, someone whose Saturn is the planet with the smallest degree. They'll be attracted to a partner who is a bit older, who is more mature maybe, who is, or even if he's not older, is more mature, is more simple, not stupid. Simple means like uncomplicated. Someone who is more practical, more down to earth, more material, more realistic, someone who takes care of all these material issues, someone who understands from those material issues. But on the negative side, Saturn can play out like someone being too gloomy, too dour, they can attract someone with the good qualities, but when this person is not well, they might often play out, if the Saturn is afflicted in their chart, they might be attracting person for a spouse who is more depressive, negative, more pessimistic in some sense. Or Venus, remember Venus, they would want, whether it's a man or a woman with Venus with the smallest degree, they would want someone as a partner who is attractive physically. It's very important, who takes care of their physical appearance, who smells well, who looks well, who is, I'm not saying like a blow-up doll or like full of operations and things like that. No, but to have a presentable look, to be sweet and kind. They want this sugar of Venus in a partner. Even if it's a woman with Venus with the smallest degree, she would like a man who is not feminine, but sweet, kind of sociable as well, charming, all these Venus qualities. Someone who has Sun as their partnership planet with the smallest degree, they would like authority figures with high positions in society, someone who can take initiative, someone who is authoritative, someone who has strong confidence and belief, who is masculine, action-oriented. Doesn't have to look masculine, but it's like action-oriented, proactive. This is the Sun, who is constant. The Sun is constant. It rises always and sets. We know when to expect it. Someone with constancy, reliable, like a king of his nest. But if the Sun is afflicted, they can be attracting people who are overbearing, who are too bossy, or who have problems, big problems with their ego. And when people have big problems with their ego, they either overcompensate by being too arrogant, or they're like too, they're lacking these qualities. But definitely the person, even if it's afflicted Sun, they'll be attracted to the positive qualities of the Sun, but whether they get them or not depends if the Sun is afflicted. Remember, I mentioned about the Moon. If you have Moon as the relationship planet, spouse planet, they'll choose a partner who they feel comfortable with. Not necessarily have big passions and sexual desire. For example, if it was with Mars, they'll want someone who turns them on all the time, who they want to jump on and tear their clothes on. Or if it's Venus, someone they want to be passionate, sensual with all the time. Someone who is passionate and sensual, But when it's the Moon is more like feminine, maternal, feminine, caring. They want someone who, when they come back from work, would make them a nice meal. Or if it's a woman with Moon with the smallest degrees, a guy who is like a, loving, sweet, almost like a maternal figure, emotionally caring, deep, someone with a lot of meaning and emotional needs as well. So you see, this is how the different planets play out. So check out what is the smallest planet, the degree of the smallest planet, and check out the female planets in the male horoscope, Venus and Moon, and in the female horoscope, the male planets, Mars and Sun. And then the specific planet with the smallest degree. And then check overall, what element is someone missing? Fire, air, cardinality, fixity. If someone has too much fixity, well, you don't want to, they take their time. Remember, listen to the videos before that for fixed cardinal. If someone is missing an element, they would often compensate it through finding such a partner, even if they look so incompatible on the outside, but this person has to fill in the gap. So this is the first part. It might sound complicated, but it is easy, to be honest. You get used to it. And after that, the second part, the second module gets very interesting. It's my favorite module. This is where we get to hardcore astrology, where you find like things that can stun your clients, that eye openers. Thank you.